I'm Rob Moss. I'm the Singer Vogue Registrar for the Singer Owners Club. I've been the Registrar for 3 years now, and I write bi-monthly articles in the magazine, and we're trying to promote the Vogue models in the club. I've got 2 Vogues. I'm currently restoring one at the moment, and this one behind me is one that I restored a couple of years ago. I bought it unseen on eBay, and that was a massive regret because it was full of filler, it was full of aerosol, and there really wasn't anything nice about it. The car was then delivered to my garage, where I didn't drive it. I never even took it on the road, just put it down the side of my workshop, and there it lay for 6 months until I gave up looking for a really nice one and decided to restore this. And what I should have done is actually strip the car down completely when I first got it to investigate how bad it was, but I didn't. I painted the roof first, and then I started doing some welding on it, and towards the end we found the most horrific rust in the back wheel arch. The whole wheel arch was actually made of fiberglass, so we had to make a whole new wheel arch for it. The car was so bad. The whole wheel arches were filler. There was filler inside the wheel arches. One of the sills was made of fiberglass. Just the complete sill, you could actually push it in and it flexed. It was just a massive bodge. Everything was a bodge. The carpets were bodged. It was hideous. So £12,000 later, we have a pretty nice car, and I have to admit it's been fantastic. Now it's done. It just works. It doesn't play me about. It doesn't mess about. It doesn't conk out. Well, it has once, but that was because it was carburetterising. But it is really on the ball, and it does well really for considering it's over 40 years old now. So if you want to have a look at the look down the side of the car, let me show you what we've done on it. When I bought the car, this piece here was just filler, all of it. So you could just break big clumps of filler off. So what we had to do was, after all these pieces of trim had been removed, we had new wheel arches made for the car, and they were a really lovely fit. They didn't need any fettling at all. So they've actually been, so we cut the originals under this waist trim and then welded the new wheel arch in to here. So this piece is all new up down to here, and down here somewhere it was linked in. Amazing panels. The company we got them from, they did a smashing job, and they just look brilliant. When these were removed, the inner arches had all rotted out as well, so that all had to be rebuilt before we put the new wings on. On the back here, these arches again, all along here, were filler. Now when we rebuilt this one, we didn't actually know that you can buy arches, so my welder just made up new arches for it. But this is where we found the horrific rust in the inner arch. So what we had to do was cut along here and take the whole wing off before it had the new arch fitted, and it was all just filler. Cut it off here, so this was then removed, and then we could work on the inner arch. And the inner arch was just a big sheet of fiberglass, so we had to rip out all the fiberglass, cut all the rust out, and make this complicated shell that then had to meet the outer wing. So we then made that up, put this wing on, and then rebuild this arch. When I bought the car, all of this carpet wasn't there. It all been covered in this grey, like bath matting, ribbed bath matting. It looked foul. So I pulled it all off, and I found underneath was the original green Rexine, here and here, So I managed to retrieve and save most of the original Rexine for the car, but there's some bits that I've had to replace, but they haven't been replaced with green vinyl like so many people do. I got the green Rexine, and I've matched it in with the original to try and keep some of the originality of the car. This piping here has been replaced, and unfortunately it's not as good quality as the original. It doesn't fit as well, but the original there was just nothing left of it, so it had to be replaced. All the carpets have been renewed in the car as well, so they've been nicely trimmed, and they look the part. Moving on to the front of the car, the parcel shelf that had collapsed because the windscreen seal had been leaking water, so all the millboard had been had got wet and just dropped. So all of this has been renewed. You can still buy this. The bar and the vinyl along the bar is all original and was rescued, but the millboard here has been carefully replicated to the original one. All these carpets are new. We just bought a roll of carpet and trimmed it, and the gear stick gaiter was missing, so I bought a new one of those. Put some white paint on the inside of the gear knob because that had worn off, so that you can see the diagram. The dashwood is all original. It's quite an expensive job to replace that, but the other thing is, once you've replaced it, you then got to start thinking about replicating the lettering for what all the knobs do, and so I've just left it as it is. I thought that's a job for another day.